Good evening. Let's go ahead and start our meeting. Before we do a call to order, let's do our Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Jimenez.
If you can please stand and face the flag. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. Can I please do roll call?
Chairperson Santana,
Present.
Commissioner Carlin, Commissioner Takayama,
Present.
Commissioner Jimenez,
Present.
and Vice Chairperson Luvano.
Present.
Thank you so much. Moving on to the corrections of the agenda. Commissioners, are there any corrections that you see? Seeing none, we will be able to move on to presentation. Also here, no presentations this evening. Do we have any public comment?
At this time, the general public may address the commission on any items listed on the agenda, including items not listed on the agenda, which are referred to as non-agenda items that are within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission. Please be aware that the maximum time allotted for members of the public to speak shall not exceed 3 minutes per person. State law prohibits the commission from taking action or entertaining extended discussion on a topic not listed on the agenda. Please show courtesy to others and direct all your comments to the chairperson. And at this time, we do not have any speaker cards, chairperson.
Thank you. Next, regular business.
No items today.
Thank you. We will now move to staff communications.
All right, thank you, Chairperson and members of the commission. We're going to go ahead and pass the microphone on to our Recreation Manager, Veronica Ramirez, and we'll get the presentation up on the screen.
Looks like it's on there, just on there. Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Hello and good evening, Chairperson Santana and members of the commission. I have several updates to present. We had, of course, a very busy summer and a very busy October coming up in short time. Starting with our recreation guide, which is shortly on the screen. There we go. All right, so this was published and made available online as well as our social media sites on the 12th of this month. We now have our hard copies available, which each of you has been provided with this evening. Those would also be available for the public to pick up at our Parks and Recreation office, in addition to Kathy Hensel Youth Center, as well as our Senior Center. The information includes several special events, which we'll talk about shortly. Also our adaptive and inclusive recreation programs, our youth and adult sports, and specifics for some of our upcoming Rec and Go trips. This edition also highlights fall events, which again we'll talk about shortly, the Heritage Festival, including the 5 and 10K run, our Halloween festivities, as well as our Day of the Dead festivities as well. Pardon me. Our upcoming City Service Saturday will actually take place this coming Saturday at 8 a.m. at Ashia Park. Volunteer signups are currently being accepted for that. We have a handful of interest or signups so far and some interest generated, but we of course are still looking for additional volunteers to assist. Activities for that will include basic cleaning and maintenance of the park, some trash pickup, but more specifically, we'll be doing some landscaping within the planters, adding drought-tolerant plants to the area, and we'll use whatever remaining time we have for detailing of the park and adjacent neighborhood. We are also accepting signups for our upcoming Heritage Festival, which is going to be taking place October 11th through 13th, as well as our Halloween Festival scheduled for Saturday, October 26th, and those are available via our Co-Grand website. All right, so moving on to Heritage Festival, which again will take place beginning October 11th and commencing on the 13th, concluding on the 13th. That will include carnival rides, games, food trucks, and live entertainment on the 11th, and starts at 6 p.m. and goes until 10 p.m. On Saturday the 12th, we again have the food trucks, live entertainment, which will also include cultural performances throughout the day. and some scheduled live entertainment, food vendors again, carnival games, and a few other attractions. Sunday, of course, is the big day where we kick off with the 5 and 10K in the morning. Check-in for that will begin at 7 a.m. We'll start the race at 8 a.m. We expect that to conclude and for awards to be presented at roughly 9:30. We will move directly from the award ceremony into the parade, which is expected to start by 10:30 and end at roughly 11:30, 11:45. We have all of the same attractions available during the carnival, which is scheduled for 12 o'clock. And in addition to that, we'll also be offering the beer garden as well. So we have very positive and robust response, we'll call it, for the parade. We're expecting a very large turnout for that. And we're still in the process of sort of finishing up those last details as to who exactly will partake. All right. Moving along to our Halloween festival. So this would be a one-day event scheduled for Saturday, October 26th, starting at 4 p.m. and ending at 9 p.m. It will feature kids' crafts, food trucks, a photo booth, jumpers, a trick-or-treat maze this year, and of course, the haunted train ride, which I believe is the most popular attraction. We'll be opening up registration for that online very, very soon, so people will have an opportunity to make their reservations in advance, or they can certainly just drop in on the day. We've expanded this event in comparison to last year, so we're going to be adding more to the festivities and a little bit more detail to the costume contest, and we hope that the commission can participate in helping us judge the winners for that. So we'll be sending out invitations for that as well. Certainly, we'd welcome you to participate in any way that you can. Moving on to the Wreck and Go and Montebello outdoor adventures that we have coming up. Next up is this Saturday at Bolsa Chica State Beach. There's actually a beach cleanup as part of this excursion. I believe it is a nationwide event that's taking place, like a national cleanup day of some sort. So we're incorporating that into our pre-existing trip. We have about, I think, 6 signups for that so far. We're hoping to get a few more before Saturday. After that, we will have the Pumpkin Patch Extravaganza taking place at Cal Poly Pomona on Saturday, October 19th. Registration for that will open on Tuesday, the 24th. And we can accept up to 25 registrations. From my understanding, we sell out each year. All right, the City Park baseball renovation, just an update for it. Project will make improvements to the baseball field, including renovation of the bleachers, irrigation systems, turf, dugouts, and fencing, including bringing the dugouts to ground level. It is funded by LA County's Regional Park and Open Space District Measure A Annual Allocation Program. And construction was awarded this month with construction expected to begin next month. And that's all I have for my updates. Thank you.
Chairperson, do you guys have any questions on the programs or events before I move on?
Just a comment. We're very excited to participate in all the events. Thank you.
We appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. No comments from me at this time. I will open it up to any of the commissioners. I look forward to all the events. That judging of the Halloween costume contest is very difficult. So I hope all my peer commissioners are able to be there with me. Okay, thank you so much. Moving on to commission and committee orals.
Chairperson, actually, I'm sorry. So we took the items out of order. So that was actually item 2 on the staff communications. So I'm going to go back to item 1. So it should be back up on your screens here.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm sorry. So item 1, we just want to announce to the public, which we did via social media and also link on the city's website, that for many years, the city has used a platform, which we're actually still using. It's called Cogran, and it was directing folks to cityofmontebello.cogran.com. And what we're announcing here today is the new URL, but also the new experience for users, and as well as admin, but we want to highlight the user experience. So now folks could go to montebellorecreation.com, a little bit shorter, easier to remember URL, first of all, and just kind of see what that's all about. So I'm going to show you guys a little sneak peek on that. This was launched on September 2nd. And just a little bit about it. So like I said, September 3rd, I'm sorry. And montebellorecreation.com, existing database for all the folks that have been registering with us for previous programs and events and rentals. That carried over, so all they have to do is reset their password the first time they use it. And there's an explanation video on the city social media channel to highlight that and kind of walk folks through it step by step. New graphics and integration links for the city's newsletter and rec guide. So we're passing out to you folks today the rec guide and the newsletter. That's linked directly to the new homepage on montebellorecreation.com, which I'll show you in a second. So you'll see there, that's the second tile, latest news and information. And basically it's a card system or tiles there that basically makes it easier to find exactly what you're trying to register for. Whereas in the past, it was kind of one-stop shop. People would click on the happy face is what they called it, right? And then it would give you the list of all the programs. You have to kind of scroll through. This gets you to make sure you know exactly what you're registering for, when you're registering for it. It gives you a lot more information. So direct connection to the specific programs, but also a couple other things that I'm probably going to preempt my own next slide, but info tabs and some other detailed information for each program are available now directly on the homepage. So you don't have to call as much to find out information. And as I mentioned there, so better details and information are found per program. That's a pop-up under the seasonal camps section. So when you click the info button on seasonal camps, before you register, you can see what dates are coming up for camps and find more information. And that's consistent across the platform now, right? So every sports program, every youth class program, you could find a lot more detail, some with photos, some without photos, but more detail is there to be found now, make it easier to make your selections and find out what's going on. More detail available also during the registration process. So you can see if you're not sure how the age divisions break down for a sports program, for example, I screenshot this one as an example. If you want to sign up for flag football and you want to figure out what's C division, what's AA, what's A, what's B, what's et cetera. And if there's room left, you'll see there when it starts September 23rd through November 29th, and registration closed on the 18th. So just making it a lot easier for folks to navigate and find information before having to call. And, nights and weekends, when we're not available to answer those questions, that makes information more readily available for the public. Some user interface items when you're logged in as a user there at montebellorecreation.com, that top right tile there. When you click on it, you can see your household information, your history of all the registration you signed up, documents you may have uploaded, your account profile, the teams that you're assigned to, different invoices that you paid before, and just find all your different payments and different items that you may have interacted with co-grant. And good thing is, like I said, all the old database carried over, so you're not starting over essentially. And that's it for that item one, montebellorecreation.com, which is, again, the same registration software with just a refreshed look and a little bit nicer and easier to navigate user interface. So if there's any questions about item one, Chairperson, we could take them at this time.
None from me. I'll leave it open to any commissioners. Questions on item one?
All right, and jump back out of order here to item 3. So at the last commission meeting, we did some basic golf updates. As you guys know, there is a subcommittee on this commission of the golf course, and we'll schedule a meeting for that as soon as possible. But just a little recap of where we are with the Montebello Golf Course. So March 15th, City Council meeting, we awarded a new maintenance and operation contract to Indigo Sports, aka Troon. So they've been operating the course and maintaining it at the peak level that it's been since opening as of March 15th. April 10th, we adopted new user fees, new golf fees to update. The old fees were based off of the 18-hole, weren't updated for about 15 years, so we went ahead and modernized that and made some discounts built in and offered different types of tee times and incentives for residents and seniors. The renovated course and the Topgolf facility both opened on May 3rd, 2024, a couple months ago. And some last updates here for us on the golf course. Golf course was officially renamed the Bella Verde Golf Club. Bella Verde Golf Club includes a par 3 6-hole course, which is the more affordable, walkable course that transforms at night into a 9-hole lit course. So for the first time, Montebello has a golf after dark, as you see on the advertisement there. The new golf club that's going to be built and open soon includes a 9-hole course that features 3 new lakes, sand bunkers, cart paths, and renovated greens. For you golf players out there, you knew our greens and our bunkers were struggling for a while, so this new renovation makes this a much more challenging and competitive golf course. The new course is also irrigated entirely with reclaimed water that it's pumped directly from the large lake off of Bella Verde Drive. So part of the revamping of that location. So it's not Via San Clemente anymore off of Garfield, it's Bella Verde Drive. And the first lake you see, which is the old hole 10, which is now part of the par 3 course, that irrigates the entire course. So water's pumped from there directly onto the course and backfilled with reclaimed water. The last icing on the cake for the golf course is opening up the clubhouse. So where you go to check in and pay your fees and get your golf carts and have your tournament after parties and whatnot. That golf course is actually scheduled the clubhouse is scheduled to be finished here, construction here in the month of October and open shortly thereafter. So just a little bit of updates there. The golf club, Bella Verde Golf Course, has seen a steady rate of play on weekends, Friday through Sunday. Golf staff anticipate an increase in play on weekdays when the clubhouse is complete. So essentially, not being able to host tournaments, there is a little bit of a hindrance since we're not open officially. We have a temporary clubhouse out there. And as I mentioned, the state-of-the-art clubhouse is scheduled to be completed in late October and will feature food and beverage options, as well as an outdoor lawn space for golfers to enjoy and allow the course to start hosting tournaments. And that is all we have for the golf course and all three items. And if there's any questions, we could take them at this time.
Thank you. Commissioners, any questions? No questions. None. Seeing that there's no questions, thank you. We'll move on to commission orals. Yes, Commissioner Takayama, please.
I held a commission, a community D4 meeting here at my house for public safety. And I just want to extend a heartfelt thank you for all that who attended our meeting. Your participation and engagement made it a truly informative and productive event. I also wanted to get a thank you out to all the MUSD police, the Montebello Police Department, and the MCAP team for their invaluable contributions. A special thank you to Councilman David, the District 4 Commissioners for their support and insights. It was wonderful to see many residents of Montebello come together to discuss important issues affecting our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Takayama. Commissioner Jimenez, go ahead.
Thank you, Chairperson. I have two, actually. Director, for my first one, if you can guide us what the proper steps would be, and ask my colleagues for consensus here as well. As most of you know, the owner of the Barnyard Zoo passed away a couple months ago. And something that I've been talking a lot with the daughter, Melanie, is if the possibility of making a marker or a street sign to go in front of the zoo itself, because it's not a public street. It is more of a service road. So Director, what would be the proper steps to start something like that, or looking into something like that?
Yes, Chairperson, Commissioners, great question. So in order to name any city facility or street or sidewalk, there's a more lengthy process. So as you mentioned, you're talking about inside of the park, right, the walkway. What I would suggest, just for the Chairperson, Commissioners' consideration, is basically take a roll call here if you guys are interested in that. We can explore that, look at our municipal code and make sure there's no hindrances that we might have to, hoops we have to jump through to get to that point. Obviously, I knew Rolando very well too, so that would be something I would support, but it's not up to me. It's up to you guys and up to the city council, right? So if you guys want to make a motion to explore that, we can report back on what the process would be, if anything. You're talking about putting a sign basically similar to maybe the Shia Way here in front of City Hall?
Yeah, something really small, and if that's not possible, even like a plaque or something to commemorate, in his memory. I think he was a very special person in our community, so I think that would, so, Mr. Chairperson, I'll leave it up to you.
Yeah, thank you for that. I'm going to go ahead. Did you still have one more comment? And then when you're done with that, hopefully you can help us out with the motion.
My last one, Director, if you can walk us through probably how the process of upkeeping the art and the utility boxes. As I drive around, I do sometimes see that either some are graffitied, unfortunately, or some of the wrap is coming off. So what is the process to replace them or even to upkeep them?
Yeah, great question. So we actually talked about this internally. So Chairperson, the original artwork was 2 years now, right? 2.5 maybe. No guaranteed of time. I think we look back on it. To be honest, we'd probably make it a 2-year commitment, like the military banners, right? That we know for sure it's going to be there for 2 years. So the city and the city council committed to make sure these things are there. And I think there's 97 or so utility boxes. And the concept at some point, I think, is to make sure all 97 of them get filled up with artwork, right? So city's commitment is to at least what we have now. I think going forward, we might make a more formal notice that it might be only guaranteed for a certain amount of time. We've been working on that lately. Veronica and her staff have been checking to make sure that they are up to par, and we've actually requested the replacement of some, particularly on the south side, and then I believe Beverly and Garfield as well. So those will get done in the fairly near future. And then your first question was how to locate them?
How do we do But you
okay.
did answer that. Yeah, because as I drive around, there's one on Lincoln right in the corner. It's one of the smaller ones that we have right between Lincoln and, what is it? Avenida La Merced. It's a small one that's there. More than half of it is gone already.
We'll make a note of that. Thank you.
That does conclude my orals, Chairperson.
Thank you, Commissioner. Great points that were brought up. Did we want to entertain a motion, if anyone is able to initiate that?
I make a motion.
I'll second.
Thank you. The motion that was made is to, we will seek guidance on the process for park contributions at Grant Ray. Yes.
Is that correct? Just to,
Yeah, to see how the possibilities is to direct staff to look into it.
Yes. Thank you. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Seeing none, motion is moved. Thank you so much. Commissioner Livano, anything? Go ahead.
Hey, Director, I do want to bring up the air program. I know I've been attending most of the air programs, but unfortunately, we don't have good attendance. So I want to see how, as the commissioners here, could help out to spread the word more, or what can we do to get more people to come? I know it's not easy again because of course, it's been challenging. 'Cause I've been going, there's only two or three people, and there's a lot of good stuff, there's a lot of food, games, a lot of stuff, it's very entertaining, but unfortunately, no one's taking advantage of that entertainment. I don't know if there's a way we could promote it better.
I think, not to interrupt, but I think that we had a discussion on that. I wouldn't mind stopping by to the special ed departments and let them know what's going on. I think that that would be a good start because a lot of them don't know.
Thank you. Director, did you want to respond?
Yes. Thank you, Commissioner. Just in regard to a specific program that we have coming up that I did not mention earlier is specific to the air program. We have the slime event coming up on the 2nd, I believe, of next month. And fortunately, we have some pretty good response to that in terms of registration, which has been higher than what we've recently seen for participation at the more recent events. It is actually a day broken up into two registration, not registration, but event periods. There's I believe a 10 a.m. session for adults, and then in the afternoon for kids at 5 p.m. And we have about 25 registrations for that. So we are seeing a positive uptick in terms of the responsiveness. I know our recreation coordinator in charge of that program has been seeking out opportunities to advertise more, and perhaps would be in alignment with what you'd suggested, but I think we're definitely open to any suggestions or contributions of how we can continue to focus on getting more participation at those events. But that just a small sample size that we are seeing that now, and perhaps that's because school is in session and we can advertise directly to the students. But we're hopeful that that continues in that direction with the response that we've had so far to that event. I know they're being very aggressive in terms of advertising it, and we just want to keep that going.
Go ahead.
And then hopefully with the new website, it helps a lot too. Because I know before it was hard to register, so hopefully with the new website, they're able to register and actually show up after they register. Thank you.
No, I just wanted to add with the new update, it's really easy because you can add it to your cart, and it just, I picked the time that she was going to attend, and yeah.
All right, thank you. I'll go ahead and conclude with just a couple of announcements. First one is thank you. Thank you to Director Sosnowski and staff and anybody that is watching. This is a plethora of information. We definitely have been asking for such for a long time, and it's great to see this stuff come to fruition. Please share with family, friends, residents, and even visitors on these updates. I'm sure my parents would have loved this growing up, having this available for all these fun activities, but there's also other activities that are happening outside of our city with support from our city to get there. So please make sure that we're sharing that. I want to say thank you to all my fellow commissioners, and I hope to see you out there at our events. Thank you so much. Can I please get a motion for adjournment?
I'll make the motion.
A second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing that there's none, we will conclude our meeting at 5:56 PM. Thank you so much, and